Do we have a basketball game going on right now? So you guys want to wrap this up quick? I can make it real quick for you if you want. I got 3 minutes of notes on. We can spend 1 minute on the Jayhawks' 3 sides of the balls, and then we can move on. Very true. Very true. I hope there's a few more of these too. Okay, moving on to Kansas. One quick note on the game was going back and studying all 3 sides of the ball. Was very, very, very proud of how our guys fought and how the effort that they played with. It was the best that it's been, all year. Going back to last couple years, it was just really, really good effort, and our guys fought hard. The most disappointed locker room I've ever been a part of. We can't let it beat us twice, obviously. So we took it easy on them Sunday night. They had a lot of treatment. Got the game over with. They will be back to work today. We're pretty beat up. It's game 11. Everybody's beat up. It's not my point. But we'll be smart with them this week. We've got a lot of guys that are approaching a lot of snaps. Especially in particular on the O-line, a couple of running backs, and some defensive guys have played a ton of snaps. So we're game ready. We need to prepare to beat Kansas. It's going to be a challenging game for us. I mean, they've been playing a lot better. Especially defensively, they've been playing a lot better. Their last 3 games that they've played, they've held their opponents to around 300 yards, which you consider that being against Texas and Oklahoma State and Baylor. Baylor wasn't at 300 yards, but Oklahoma was the previous one prior to that. But they've played good teams. They've played 4 or 5 or 6 really good teams in a row, and they've been competitive. So we've got our hands full. We need to move forward. We need to understand that we're still playing for something. It is at the point where I'm talking about bowl games. We got to win the next 2 to go to a bowl game. That's something that we have around 12 seniors. They deserve that. The disappointment in the locker room was tremendous because our guys care and because they're in tune with what we're doing around here, and they recognize who we are and where we need to be going from here. So. I anticipate getting the same effort and the same work ethic out of the guys that this week that we have the last couple of weeks. We'll travel to Lawrence, and we will play a team that is improving. Offensively, they've been spotty, to say the least. Another situation where they're playing multiple quarterbacks. What they do with the 2 is different. They have the Heaps kid who's a pocket guy, comes in, throws it around, has got a couple of weapons. The 2 that we were concerned about last year, the Sims kid that's a running back and the Pearson kid that's a receiver. I mean, those are the guys that they try to go to. And then when they put Cozart in, the freshman quarterback, it turns into a more quarterback run game. They're going to utilize him in order to move forward. So we need to recognize what their plan's going to be. They switch up what their plans are on a week-to-week basis. So we need to figure out early in the game what their plan of attack is going to be, and we need to make some adjustments on the sidelines in order to defend that. Defensively, they're playing well. They're playing with tremendous effort. Their defense is keeping them in games. They're really good against the run. They're going to play a lot like what Texas played last week. They're going to try to outnumber us in the box. They're going to their corners and their safeties are going to man you up. And teams haven't had a tremendous amount of success at getting behind them in those situations. So we somehow got to figure out how to run the ball. And then when we have chances to make plays downfield with the receivers, we need to do a little better job of that than we did last week. Special teams, we got a great punter. They've punted quite a bit, and he's averaging over 45 yards a kick. Several of those have went 70 to 80 yards. So they got a great punter. And, doing a pretty good job in the kick game other than that. Got several guys in the back there that are returning the ball, so we got to be conscious of where they're at. So it'll be a big challenge for us. Injury-wise, we lost Jared Barber for the year. Disappointing. I think he had another 14 tackles in the game on Saturday. Was playing at an extremely high level. Effort was great. His attitude was tremendous. You know, he's been one of the team leaders for us on defense, and he's out with he's out with an ACL, so he'll have surgery here in the next week. We'll lose him for about 6 months. KJ Dillon's just got released from the hospital. He's had severe dehydration, which his body had an adverse reaction to, which has caused problems. Was in ICU for a few days and just getting out of the hospital now, so he's on the shelf for the remainder of the year as well. So a couple more guys down. Doug Rigg will still be out. You know, his head thing is not anywhere close to clearing. Clint, his shoulder's fine. His head was in a much better spot Sunday and Monday. We will anticipate him in practice today to see how he reacts to it. You know, obviously it's going to be non-contact with the quarterback, but we got to wait and see how he progresses with the tests that they do on him after today's practice and after tomorrow's practice. With that, you know, you got 20 other people on this list Saturday today that we'll be out there. We'll be able to go out there and practice with and see how they do.
And I know you don't want to make an excuse. I'm not asking you to make one, but can you qualify how significant the depth of injuries on defense are now? I mean, that's a long list, and that goes back to August too.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys with that had played meaningful snaps, whether it was this year or years in the past. But again, we're not going to use that as an excuse. We got to get guys like Marvin Gross and Jeremy Tyler and Darian Howard. Darryl Worley's been getting more and more snaps. You know, here recently played a whale of a game. Played 90-some snaps at corner after coming off an injury. Just had played really good. You got to get guys. It's their time. You know, you got to get guys like Ricky Rumpf and Brandon Napoleon, who didn't play very much in this past game because they had a little nick here and a little nick there. I mean, they're not hurt. They need to get out there and they need to play through it. But it's harder for young guys to do that. Darryl Worley did it, and we were happy with him. But those other guys need to do it as well. Depth is a problem. It's where the snaps are starting to pile up. You know, Carl, Darwin, Will, Shaq, those guys are playing their tail off. The snaps are adding up, you know, so we just got to be smart with how we approach the week. We can't go out there and run 40 plays against each other, you know, on Tuesday and Wednesday like we've been able to do in the past. We got to be a little bit more smart about our approach and get them to Saturday. Luckily, these guys got a lot of experience, so we don't need a lot of practice snaps. We just got to get them to the game and hope to remain healthy once we're in the game, and then get the young guys to grow up. It's their time to play. Let's go play ball.
Dana, what is your rotation at linebacker with Jared out and obviously Doug extended as well? What are you going to do there?
You got Kwiatkowski's played pretty well. You know, he's playing at an extremely high level. Thankful for him. Tyler Anderson's going to get snaps inside. You know, we've moved him all around. He's been playing fantastic on special teams. Juwan Snow had his best game on special teams. Made 4 or 5 special teams plays in the game on Saturday. So he'll get reps. Sean Walters is another young guy that needs to step up. You know, it gives you 4 backers there that you can play with. Is it at the level that you'd get with Barber and Rigg? They don't have the experience. They need to take advantage of this opportunity and play ball.
Dana, I'm assuming that at this point, a couple of weeks ago you brought Darian Howard out of mothballs. I mean, there's nobody else left, is there, that you would waste a red shirt, burn red shirt?
No, we wouldn't. No. It's backup guys like Tyler Anderson. It's backup guys like Juwan Snow. Eric Kinsey needs to come on. You know, Darren Howard needs to take more snaps. Noble needs to take more snaps. I mean, we got bodies. Are they seasoned vets? No, but you gotta line them up and you gotta go play.
Have you made any decisions on center and what you're going to do there after making a switch last night?
No, not yet. You know, we got good quality snaps out of both guys. Was really happy with how Tyler played when he went in there. With that said, I mean, Pat's what makes us tick. You know, I mean, he's what makes us tick up front. You know, our guard play with Spain and Mark is so good. right now that we don't need that we don't need Pat to take snaps at guard. He's more comfortable guard center. So we'll get out there and we'll practice for a few days, see how it looks, and we'll go into the game. We're going to need both of them to play, center for a variety of reasons and a variety of snaps.
And some of the scores have been close. How do you feel the team is as far as being close to being a winning team? I mean,
Our team?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're close. I think we've been close all year. We're playing quality teams. We get it. We're getting better. We're playing a lot of young guys. I don't know. I mean, I think we're close. I'm still hoping that it happens this year. I mean, our goal is we talked about it on Sunday night is to go win this one and then take a week off and kind of get refreshed and then win another one and then take a few weeks off and get refreshed and then go win a bowl game. So we do that. That'd be pretty similar to what happened last year.
What do you think? I mean, you see it sometimes with teams that they don't get over the hump for whatever reason. You've had like 4 weeks in a row where 3 of them you couldn't hold on to a lead or whatever. What's the difference between winning and losing? Is it mistakes?
It's slim. The margin of error is very slim. When you play good football teams, I mean, you got to perform at a high level every week. If you don't, you get beat. And it's no different this week going to Kansas. It's no different. We've been there. I mean, what do you blame it on? I don't know. I can give you a bunch of excuses. I mean, the only one the only one I'm really going to give you is, put it on me. I mean, I tried to do something a little bit different to get us over the hump. I've been saying all year long, I think we've been close. If I had the answer, I mean, I would have put it in place a long time ago. But the one thing that I'm very thankful for is the players are attentive. They're playing hard. I think you all can see that and appreciate that the guys are getting out there and they're playing hard, and it means something to them. I've never been a part of a locker room that disappointed, which means they care and they're trying. I can sleep at night because of that. It didn't make that loss any easier, but I can sleep at night because of that. So they're trying hard. The coaches are trying hard. We remain united and we have a plan, and we're building something bigger than just trying to line up a team to beat Texas. So we're gonna keep the course, stay on track this week, and line up and hopefully get the same effort and energy and want to go win this one.
Are you getting Logan more practice reps at quarterback or for emergency situations or?
Not many, no. I mean, you can barely rep 2 quarterbacks, let alone 3. He takes individual reps. He does scout team reps. He does individual reps. He would have been the guy to go in there. But with that said, I mean, we anticipate Clint coming back and being fine. Ford's, closer to 90% now, so he's probably going to start repping this week. Whether that's good enough to, for them to be meaningful reps or not, I got to see what it looks like, But he's getting close, so we'll be all right.
Do you think offensively, younger guys like Danielle, Mario, they're starting to get it?
Yeah. Mario had his best game. I mean, he was. That made me smile for the first time maybe all year when he took just a routine play and went and made a big play out of it. So he's getting more comfortable there. Danielle's been, Danielle's taken a whole lot of steps for a true freshman. So he's going to get better. He needs an off season to continue to mature and get bigger, faster, stronger to where I think he can be a dominant player in this league.
Dana, as ridiculous as this may sound for a 4-6 team, facing Kansas and Iowa State, do you have an issue with the fact that you're playing 2 pretty bad football teams record-wise? Somebody may take something for granted.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, we've been in a bad place this year as well. So they're no different than any other team in the Big 12. I mean, if you look at the games that they've been in, they're playing with a bunch of effort. I mean, how close was Iowa State to beating Texas? How last year, how close was Kansas to beating Texas and Lawrence? I mean, it can happen. I mean, if we think that we've Which just sounds so silly to say, because it's like you said, with being 4-6, if we think that we have any chance of just showing up and beating anybody in college football, then you got another thing coming, especially 2 teams in the Big 12 that are looking for a win.
Talk about Kansas's offense. I mean, you hit on it a little bit in the intro there, but just what they are doing, and are you surprised by the struggles that they have had?
Nothing surprises me when it comes to offensive struggles this year, but you know they're well coached. They come up with a different plan every week, you know, and and you can just look at them. I've studied them about 4 or 5 times pretty closely because of the teams that we've played have already played Kansas, so I studied them quite a bit, and there was a little bit different plan of attack every time they lined up. So you know, they're searching for an identity, like a lot of teams in the Big 12 are when you're playing 2 different quarterbacks that do a couple of different things for you. So they got a couple of guys that scare you, you know, in Sims and Pearson. You know, the quarterback's got athletic ability that gives them the ability to do some run game with them to be able to move it forward. So we'll have to identify what their plan is, and we'll have to talk about it on the sidelines and go out and either change, you know, our defensive attack or communicate what they're trying to get done.
That said, though, could you possibly be caught off guard? Could they just pull a rabbit out of their hat, or is there going to be something similar?
Yeah, I mean, still football. They still can only play with 11, you know, and 7 of them have to be on the line of scrimmage. So however many different things they can come up with, you know, they'll probably try. They'll probably try to reinvent the wheel, but it's already, you know, more than likely whatever they try to come up with has already been done.
They brought in a bunch of transfers, especially junior college guys, and it's not all worked out for them. Conversely, if you look at offense and defense for you guys, most of, maybe one exception, I guess they're all starting or playing big roles too. As you look back on that now, is it, where might things be if not for them?
You talking about them? For us? Yeah, the only team that probably attacked junior colleges more than we did was Kansas. And looking on their 2 deep, I mean, they play a lot of bodies on defense. So looking at their 2 deep, you see them all those guys they recruited, you see them in there a variety of times. You know, as far as we're concerned, you know, we did it for a reason. And it has worked out. The issue is, especially when you get guys like Dontrell, Brandon, Mario, you know, a lot of those guys didn't join us until August. You know, you can throw Charles in there, you can throw Clint in there. You know, it's one thing to get a transfer like Kevin and Dreamus who are functioning at a high level for us, you know, to have those guys you know, in January, to where you can really coach them and all that and get them ahead. But you still need those game reps in order to get them functional, get them to play at a high level. Well, there's another 5, 6 guys, 7, 8 guys that didn't join our team until August. So that's tough. It's not ideal, but we did it for a reason.
So with Mario, because you didn't know maybe where to put him, and now because he's outside, he's found a spot that he's just better there than maybe inside. Yeah, and I kicked myself in the tail for not doing it earlier. But you know, if you look back, he got here August 1, and he didn't practice for the majority of August. So you know, we were, when we recruited him, we were like, this is kind of a Tavon kind of guy because he played a lot of running back. They moved him around a little bit. He had that kind of speed. But looking back on it, without being able to coach him, you know, Tavon's junior year, and I'm not comparing him to Tavon. I mean, that'd be ridiculous to do that. But we had Tavon all spring, and then his junior year was just okay. I think he had like 2 receiving touchdowns prior to the Orange Bowl. You know, and then obviously the more we had him, the more comfortable he gets in the system, the better it is. It's harder to play inside than it is to play outside. So we finally got smart and we moved him outside, and he got real comfortable. And he's been getting better and better at that position every week. So, you know, what he did on Saturday was good to see, but he's been heading that direction ever since we moved him there. I think, yes, he's found a home and he'll get better and better.
You know, what, in your mind, what is the best thing about being able to go to a bowl game?
Well, that's a reward for the seniors. That's the number one thing. You know, you can say it's for development. You can say it's to where you know, go win one and be on TV. You know, get a trophy in your trophy case. I mean, all that stuff's positive, and it's a good experience for the kids. It's a good experience for coaches, families, fans. I mean, all that stuff's good, but you know, a reward for the seniors. I mean, we got about 12 seniors that have been fantastic, you know, and again, you're talking about guys that have been through a lot of transition, from coaching staffs to conferences, do a lot of that stuff. Guys like Will and Shaq and Pat and Fight, you know, Darwin Cook. Charles has been phenomenal coming in playing his 1 year. Nick Kindler. Ivan's been through a lot, you know. So you got a collection of guys that want to keep playing. So being able to get them, you know, to a bowl game is big. And then just the developmental process that you get. You don't get a whole spring practice. You get, based on weather, you're going to get about 8 to 10 practices, you know, which is very important. It's very important to be able to continue to practice those young guys.
I mean, it's been 11 years since this program didn't go to a bowl. I'm thinking that it's been maybe the same amount of time since you haven't gone to a bowl game. Do you kind of maybe even take that for granted? Is that's something that we need to do? That's part of our program. It's getting that extra month. Yeah,
it is. You know, it's been, I think I've been to 13 in a row, so it's what the expectations are, certainly. You know, we're going to do everything in our power to be able to get there. I know that. That's what our goal is. We're going to put forth effort. We're going to try hard. We're going to coach hard. We're going to, you know, hopefully put it all together and go play hard and win the next two to be able to make sure that happens. It's certainly the expectation that exists here. It should, and it will continue to as well.
Not really football related. Any thoughts on Clements leaving and heading to Clemson?
Oh man, yeah, that I was watching film yesterday and got the news that was it's disappointing news for WVU. Jim's a great ally, great friend. You know, he's done a tremendous job for WVU. We thank him for all his hard work and support and wish him luck. No question.
Yeah, I wonder about defense before you go. Last week you said that maybe earlier in the season people thought they were playing about as high level, and you didn't really agree with that. I mean, obviously a bunch has happened, including conference play issues, but what is the reality? Not just right now, I guess, but maybe for the season, about, I don't know, how much better they are, how good they are, maybe how they aren't. I'm not sure. What do you think?
For 12 series, they played as good as they can possibly play in the game the other night. You talk about offensively, we put them in as bad a situations as you can possibly put them in with our ball security issue at the quarterback spot. You know, and with that said, they played phenomenal. They held them to 13 points in 2.5 quarters. You want to be a great defense, that's just got to continue. I mean, you can't play great for 2.5 quarters and then for 4 straight series let them just run right through you and complete third and long passes and go score. You know, and that's not me pointing the finger at them at all. I mean, they bailed us out for 2.5 quarters. We could have had a chance offensively to seal the game at the end. I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around for all parties involved. If you want to be a great offense, you get them off the field on a few of those third downs in the fourth quarter when we have a 10-point lead or a 3-point lead or whatever it is. You want to be a great offense. It never gets to that point. You know, I mean, we could have sealed the game at the end. We could have scored in overtime. I mean, there's plenty for me to worry about offensively as well.